I started my professional journey with Accenture right after my B.Tech. And the salary I received at Accenture was 17,000 rupees per month, or in fact even 14,000 rupees after taxes. And this continued for almost 6 months. And this used to be my routine. I used to go to work 8 a.m., pick up the bus, get to office by 9, have breakfast, and directly go to the table tennis room, play table tennis for a few hours, then come back and have lunch, and once again go back to the table tennis room and then relax for a few hours, then board the bus and come back home. Literally, this was what I was doing for 6 months. Now you tell me, would you not be happy taking salary of 14,000, 17,000 rupees per month if you are literally going and playing table tennis every day? I was really happy. But doing this for 6 months, at some point in time, I was like little anxious that I'm not learning anything. And this is my first job. So I was not sure if this is how professional life is going to be. So I started applying at a few places. And then I stumbled upon a small startup at that point in time, MiM. It was a data analytics company. And I have that aptitude or that interest towards aptitude kind of questions. And so I applied, and fortunately I got selected. How I got selected into MiM itself is a completely different story. But I got in, and the salary was also almost double. I was earning 14,000 per month, and in MiM, the salary I was offered was 28,000 rupees per month. But the working conditions and what I was learning was completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was working for literally 14 to 16 hours every day, and on some bad days it used to stretch even more. And I got a lot of deep insights into how data is being boiled, how data is being used to make decisions. I worked with some of the clients who were Fortune 20, Fortune 10 clients. Within 1 to 2 years of spending at MiM, the leadership team, my manager, they all decided to send me to US and said that, hey, yes, now you don't need to study in the US, you don't need a master's degree, but you can directly work on H1B visa at the client site. So it was a pretty good offer for me, right? Earning in dollars without any kind of spend in dollars. That is positive ROI from day one. Well, I moved to the US. I was working in Seattle. The working conditions were actually better. I did not work for more than 8 to 10 hours a day. I was still working in that space of data analytics, and I was really happy with the kind of work that I was doing, but I didn't enjoy the city. It almost rains for like 9 out of 12 months in Seattle every year. But I don't have anything against the city, because a lot of big companies like T-Mobile, Microsoft, Amazon, all these guys are headquartered in Seattle, but it was personally not a city for me. I just could not take it, a gloomy weather. So I started applying for companies all around the US. And more often than not, I actually got rejects. I got more than 300 rejects because of visa reasons, because of like, hey, you are not the right fit, so on and so forth. And I finally ended up with a few offers, and one of the most interesting offers and one which attracted me was McKinsey. Well, I did not mention the salary portion in MiM in the US. So I started off with a basic salary of $65,000 per month. And when I moved to McKinsey in less than 1 year after moving to the US, my salary increased from $65,000 to more than $110,000. So that's a 50% increase. In the US, you usually get a salary hike of 5% if you stay in the same company, and probably 20% if you move out to a different company. But I was very lucky to get that 50% kind of a hike. And the reason I could crack the interviews were very, very, very simple. I had developed the deep experience in data analytics. I had that marketing analytics experience of working with Fortune 10, Fortune 20 companies. So that really have driven me, and that could help me in the interviews. And just a small anecdote over here, when I was going and attending McKinsey interviews, a lot of people told me that, hey, you really can't crack the interview. You are not even coming from a great school, even from India. Forget about, you don't even have a US education. So I walked into the interview believing that, hey, I just want to give my best shot, and I have absolutely no stress because I'm anyways not going to be selected. I think that frame of mind really helped me in that interview process. So because when the interviewer asked me a question, hey, what if you don't know this answer? I just gave alternate answers. If I don't know the answer for this regression analysis, this is the other analysis that I do. And what if that is not the right answer? Then I basically gave another answer. At some point in time in the interview, I lost the number of options, but I was still smiling. And I said that, hey, I could literally take your help if you are on my team, because you are an expert and you would have few more methods. So that really worked for me, that I was not too conscious or I was not too stressed about that interview. At the same time, I was very, very confident about these data analytics concepts. And that's how I cracked McKinsey. And working there 2 to 3 years really helped me build connections with people, helped me actually understand the senior client corporate level executive decision making criteria in the US world. And after spending 2 years in McKinsey within the data analytics and the marketing space, I did my MBA from INSEAD. Well, I spent already enough time in the US, so I wanted to go study somewhere else in a continent like Europe where I did not have a lot of experience. So I moved there, but the interesting catch here is I did not still spend even $1 for my INSEAD MBA. Consulting companies, if you spend 1 to 2 years in that company, they sponsor your MBA. INSEAD fees is $100,000, roughly 80 lakhs in Indian rupees. And this fees was sponsored by McKinsey because I spent 2 years in the company. Well, I had a bond to come back and work at McKinsey, but that bond is fair because I'm not taking additional loan for my education. So McKinsey sponsored my MBA. I went there, I studied, and then I came back to McKinsey once again and picked up the associate role. Then my salary increased from $120,000 to almost $220,000 because that's the starting salaries of associates, including all the bonuses and all the other perks that come along with it. The simple story that I want to tell you through these entire numbers is that you need to make sure that in the early stages of your career at the least, please prioritize the places where you can actually learn a lot more compared to where you will earn a lot more. This is actually ironic, right? Because I'm telling that my salary has grown from 17,000 rupees per month to $200,000 per year. But this actually happened because, in my opinion, I believe that I prioritized learning a lot more. And the second takeaway that I want you guys to bring back home through this video is, please always make sure that you have one specific expertise. For me, it was data analytics. I don't know what it could be for you. Just develop that one space of expertise and drill down in it for as many years as possible. And that will give you the right opportunity. And if you don't have that extensive experience in one area, big companies, tier 1 companies, don't really have any kind of inclination to hire you. Because for me, I didn't have an IIM degree, neither I had a tier 1 MBA degree or any degree at all. I just had an undergrad degree. The third takeaway I want you to also think about is, consider not having any loan when you are actually in your early stages of your career. Don't just buy a home in the first year as soon as you get a job. You will not have a lot of flexibility with respect to taking decisions of, hey, yes, I want to prioritize my learning over how much I earn. And that helped me. I did not take a loan even after when I want to study my MBA because I wanted to have that flexibility of whatever I wanted to do after 2 years of finishing my bond with McKinsey. And that helped me because as soon as I finished my MBA, I went back, worked at McKinsey for 2 years, and then I decided to come back to India and pursue my entrepreneurial dreams. And this is something which I could do only because I did not have any kind of loan, student loan. Think about these 3 takeaways and let me know if you want me to dig deeper into any of these topics. I would love to do that. Thank you so much, guys. And once again, a gentle reminder, this video is not about giving you numbers and saying that, hey, yes, my salary actually has grown, but this video is about the 3 takeaways at the end. Thank you. See you again in the next one. Bye-bye.